That's right, Stefano. They can hear us right now. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Bob. This is Tabletop Bob. I'll be your dungeon master for tonight's episode of Curse of Strahd. Episode 3. It almost feels like we're into that regular thing now, right? Like the honeymoon phase is over, isn't it?
Going steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my.
I mean, three dates, basically. We're on the third date. It's like, when can we start farting in front of each other? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I thought that was date one. Okay.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Let's start
Only
over.
silent
let's,
ones.
Let's just do a new campaign.
Well, that's what a lot of people do. They play a couple games, they hop to the next, all right?
Mhm,
Not us,
mhm.
though. We see things through. So, welcome back. We've obviously got Tim, Andrew, Michelle, and Stefano back here on the channel. They're going to be introducing their characters in a little bit, obviously doing a bit of a recap. But before we do, I want to say I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, right? Good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was good. Mhm.
Andrew, did you get your Brussels sprouts or whatever you like?
No, I had Ethiopian cuisine
Oh, okay. A little different then.
because I was in DC, so we ate out.
Oh, cool.
Gotcha. That's awesome. That's right. You went to DC. That's great.
Mhm.
Awesome. Let's. I know that you're obviously you're British. And you're,
What?
well, if everybody didn't know, it's a secret of Andrew's. It's one of the things we talked about in his secrets video. He's British. All right. But you've been in America for so long, and you're a citizen. So, does Thanksgiving have a different meaning to you than you think other Americans? What do you think?
Oh, I like Thanksgiving. Like you say, it's food, no presents.
Yes.
cool.
No obligations, right? It's just fun,
Right.
family, and food. Who doesn't
Yeah.
love that? Speaking of food, Tim, how was the Thanksgiving at Red Lobster?
It was fantastic.
All right.
I had electricity there. They served me a lovely meal. It's good.
Hopefully you don't have to do it from their parking lot again. Our stream. So that was wild last week, wasn't it?
I got moved to Barovia. The power went out. And that's the way things go.
That's wild. That's wild. And Michelle and Stefano, two of you. I don't have any funny jokes or quips for your Thanksgiving. Was everything good?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
Saw my parents. Got some food. Didn't have to go food shopping until yesterday.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I went to a friend's place, babysat their kid for a few hours.
Hey,
Had
wait a
Thanksgiving
second.
dinner.
Sounds like you had
What's-
work.
Well, I was at their place, so it was the least I could do, helping out their kid.
Sure. They said,
And-
come over for Thanksgiving and watch our kid. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay. I got paid in food.
In
I
food.
was
Yeah, I
I
was
was
gonna
okay
ask.
with that. Yeah. And this Thanksgiving was also my birthday. So
That's
our
right.
dessert for Thanksgiving was a cake.
Aw, look at
All
that.
good
Oh,
things.
sweet.
What's your go-to
Yeah.
cake, Michelle? What's like, because I know that's very specific for a lot of people.
My favorite cake?
You like your go-to birthday cake. Yeah.
Oh, my go-to. Yeah, I guess like I don't think this is very popular, but I really love carrot cake.
Ooh,
So like a well done moist carrot cake. I'm a sucker for that.
look at that.
Yes, yes.
I-
Although sorry, let me start again. I also really enjoy a good Fudgy the Whale. So-
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
You
Yes.
said carrot cake as if it was like a taboo thing. No, I think carrot cake is making a resurgence. It's very good.
No, it is taboo. Let's face it.
No, Andrew.
It's vegetable.
It's on the up and up, especially if you put whipped cream all over it.
Well, whatever that icing is, what's the icing that goes on carrot
Cream
cake?
Oh,
cheese
yeah.
frosting.
Mhm.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
It's no
Yes.
Fudgy the Whale, but it's a close second.
Well, thank you for not yucking my yum, some
Andrew.
of you.
Andrew. Look, if you put cream cheese frosting on anything, it's pretty much you could eat it. It's that good. So,
Mhm. It's
yeah,
true.
that's great. Happy birthday, Michelle, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
to the
happy
rest of you.
belated.
Thank you kindly, guys. Appreciate it.
So that's funny that this could have been just our icebreaker question right there, cake and birthdays and Thanksgiving. But no, I have another one for you. So let me jump in here. One of the things that I love to do on Thanksgiving, I know Stefano, we recently talked about it at school, but one of the traditions that I have is that here in the New York tri-state area, Q1043, which is the radio station, classic rock station. I've talked to all of you about this, I'm sure, at some point. I think I might even mention this on another stream maybe years ago, but they do a countdown. You vote for your top 10 favorite classic rock songs of all time. That's kind of my like bread and butter. I love classic rock. And so you vote for 10 songs, they play them back. It's 1,043 songs. And they start on Wednesday of Thanksgiving weekend, and it goes 24/7 all throughout the day and night to Sunday night, which is when they, get the top 10. And it's a tradition I love. I listen to it all weekend long. I get it on my app, and I listen to it while I'm outside doing yard work, doing decorations, all that stuff. It's nonstop, 24/7 in my house, much to probably my wife's chagrin. But either way, I listen to it, and I love it every year. Every year, Stairway to Heaven wins. 24 years in a row, it wins. So my question to you all, and I found this on a list of, I think I Googled like funny icebreaker questions. And I was like, this is the one we're doing. So if you were trying out for a reality singing show, what song would you sing? That's my question to you all.
Oh, I know.
Stefano's a lot of pressure on you because you're a music teacher. So
I got it.
all right, go ahead, Stefano. You can start us off.
It's my go-to karaoke song.
Oh,
I would do Rock This Town by the Stray Cats.
Oh, lovely.
nice. Look at you.
Yeah.
I love this. I love the musical knowledge you have as
Also,
a music teacher.
If I don't know Tim's answer, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Okay,
Oh, you know my
hold on.
answer.
Hold on. Before we do this then, you think you know it?
I do.
Okay, Tim, do you have a piece of paper or something around you?
I know exactly what it is. I think Stefano knows what it is too.
I would prefer that he get to reveal it though.
I
it's,
want you
it's it's two words. The
So-
first word starts with the letter L.
Is this true, Tim?
It is.
All right, so then we all know it. Go ahead.
My go-to song, any karaoke, any wedding, any event I'm at, is Love Shack by
Love
the
Shack. I was
B-52s.
going to say that. What a great
Love
choice.
Shack by the B-52s.
Wait, you were going to guess that, Andrew?
Yeah.
It's a
How do you
classic.
What starts with L? Love Shack.
He said a song that starts with L and you got Love Shack.
Well, I said
Because
it
it's
was
a
two
great
words.
karaoke song.
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
I don't know about the singing, but the performances.
No, the thing is the performance. I've done it at weddings. I do it at baptisms. I do it at whatever events you have. You give me a call and I'm there.
It's one of the best things you'll ever see.
Yeah, let us know your songs in the chat, everybody. Let us know your songs that you would sing. Michelle, what about you?
Well, context specific. So if this were a reality show, I feel like I would have to poke fun at myself a little bit because, like, what am I doing on a reality show? So I'd probably sing one of my preferred karaoke songs, which is Stacy's Mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great one.
Just to be silly. And like there are some pretty good vocal riffs in that song, so I'd have fun with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a great one. Did you say they had a second song or no?
Say that one more time.
Were you saying that was your song in this scenario and you had another one that you would sing if it was serious?
Oh, no,
Oh, okay.
only Stacy's Mom. Also for serious contexts, Stacy's Mom.
Okay. Good, excellent.
Mhm.
Andrew, what about you?
I actually love karaoke
Oh,
so much. And my go-to song is Devil Went Down to Georgia. Because people love it when you sing that in a British accent.
I was gonna say I gotta see you sing this song because that's amazing. So you know when you go there, that's your go-to. You always do this at karaoke.
80% of the time.
I mean, Stefano, Tim, Michelle, I think we know what we need to do.
Channel karaoke night.
We
Live
need to have
stream
a
karaoke.
We need live stream karaoke. Yeah,
Yes.
Stefano, I have a bar.
that's great.
Oh yeah.
For me, I'd probably
I got
with,
two now.
For you would do that?
What?
You would do Devil and Down to Georgia too?
No, I got two karaoke bars. We could
Do
go on
you?
a Thursday or a Friday.
Oh damn! Wow, local around here?
Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown area.
Okay, the Headless Horseman. I like it.
Oh, you betcha.
For me, it's going to be "Don't Stop Believin'."
Oh.
I won't be able to sing it well, but
Well,
I'll try my best.
karaoke
we'll
is
help
not
you
about
out.
singing it well. It's
That's
about
true.
singing it with effort.
Also, the whole bar will help you out.
That
Right.
one, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
And now
Um,
Michelle's old enough to go to a bar.
It was your birthday.
Yay. Thanks, guys.
So speaking of a whole bar that wouldn't help you out, that would be the bar you went into in Barovia.
Oh,
When you
oh
say,
boy. You betcha.
Not
Wow,
many
what a
people-
what a segue. Even I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Flawless.
Do they have karaoke in Barovia?
You could ask.
They're about to. I'll tell you what.
Our bard is about to get nuts. I'm
About to
excited.
sing Love Shack.
The blood on the vine is going to be lit tonight. All right, as the kids say.
Maybe Love Shack would help cheer up Mary a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Too soon, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bit about
Greyhawk Exile, for the super chat. Definitely need a live stream karaoke. We got to make it happen at some point in this stream. So we'll see. Okay, so let's jump into the actual game because that's what we're here for, right? I forget. Are we here for that?
We are here for
We're here
D&D.
for that. Yeah. All right. So just as a quick summary here, you did go back. Not go back, go to the town. You found the town of Barovia, the village, I should say, and you met some interesting people. I'll let you introduce your characters, and you can go through that and explain who you are, and then maybe what your character might have taken away from last week's game. And then while you're doing that, I'll do some behind-the-scenes stuff. But let's start with, we'll go reverse order this time. Let's go to Stefano first.
Oh, hey. Hi. I am playing Canas, the warlock half-elf, with my familiar, Dione, who was a sprite, but is now a devilish imp.
And last episode, you remember what?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the chat.
That's okay.
I remember, like, what was the question?
Yeah,
What
key
did we do?
takeaways from last session.
Takeaways from last. Okay. We found out we're in Barovia. I thought the town was named Barovia, but they just said we're in Barovia. There's only one village apparently there. And we seem to be trapped here.
That's right.
And there are a lot of interesting characters. We had the 3 bar owners, Alenka, Sorvia, and Mirabelle, I think.
Yep.
Who are pretty interesting characters. Going off and having a conversation with Laurent that I tried to spy on with my invisible imp. Didn't get too much.
You got just a little bit of information. Yeah, you got the part where they basically were saying that they thought he looked familiar and wanted to know who he's, who he was, where he was from. They must have been mistaken, and that was what they basically said. Yeah.
We also met.
Well, you don't have to
Is
recap
Mar- is-
everything, Stefano.
Okay, sure.
You don't have to recap it all because we're going to recap it all. But I just want to know your character's big takeaway. Andrew, what about you?
So I'm playing Rufus Gwaindire, human paladin, Oath of Glory. His big takeaway from last time is that things are rather overpriced at the bilge rat.
Unfortunately, you're right. You had some issues because you didn't have any of your gear with you like the other group members, so you had to buy some things.
I'm in your debts.
Yeah, but you did buy something though, right? What'd
Yeah.
you end up getting?
Hide armor of the finest quality.
Right, very good at stealth. Not very good at stealth checks, despite the name Hide.
Well, it doesn't give you disadvantage. It's just regular.
Oh, okay, so that's fine
It's
for hide
medium
checks.
armor. Yeah, it's just not very good armor.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you end up getting some armor. I think you're a little bit better for combat now at this point. But yeah, you desperately need some weapons, some gear. You have none of it.
Right, even another dagger would be nice.
Yeah. Let's jump on down to Michelle.
Hi, I am playing Dione Ironsage, the Dwergar rogue. And last time, I guess my biggest takeaways after meeting the 3 ladies and getting very little out of them, we went to Bildret's store and Dione tried her best to help out Rufus and pilfer some of the shop owner's coins. But Rufus is too much of a goody two-shoes for Dione. And so that was a failed attempt. It's okay, Rufus. Dione forgives you.
I find that hilarious. You gave him a layup and he just threw it back.
Right? I was like, look, here's the hoop. Shall I place the ball into it for you? And Rufus was like, nah. And Dione was also very excited about the dream pies that we got. and she was able to get one of a meat flavor. And she's
Yes.
a big fan of meats. So, yes.
Yes,
Those were
you
my
did.
biggest
You did
takeaways.
meet someone, Morgantha, who was peddling these meat pie or pies. Excuse me, dream pies, like you said. They were all different sorts of pastries you could have bought. I think some of you got some. What was it? Rhubarb. Somebody bought that one. Something like that.
I think gooseberry was one of them.
Was
That's
it?
we
I
requested
think we
gooseberry.
requested gooseberry.
Right.
So then you bought two, like, fruit flavored ones, and then you bought the meat pie. And yeah, she told you to be careful when you eat these, because when you do, you're gonna have these like vivid dreams. So, and it's gonna bring you to this, like, the greatest fantasy that you might have ever had. So it's a hallucinogen probably, but yeah, ultimately that's what these are. And then finally we go to Tim. Who are you playing?
What's up, gang? I'm playing Laurent LeMaire, human bard, College of Spirits. So in theme with the spooky setting. And from our last episode of Curse of Strahd, I remember being taken aside by these three women, the bar owners, and being like, "Hey, what's your deal? Why are you here?" And I was like, "I don't know any of you at all,
Mm-hmm.
but it's weird that you seem to know me." And I have this like striking feeling that like things are a bit too similar. Like when you've been somewhere, but you haven't really been there. Like maybe you dreamed you've been there. It's all very strange. Doesn't feel quite right, but I've definitely never been here. So
Yes, you had a very interesting moment in the bar with the women, but maybe more evidence will come up, and maybe you'll remember some things or not. We'll see.
All right. Bob, I'd like to try again since I totally botched that.
Go ahead.
All right. I think Canas's big takeaways is we're clearly in a mysterious place that doesn't make a lot of sense, and we need to gain more information about it. And it seems that for Canas, the best people to gain more information and rely on at the time being are the people he came in with.
There you go. And you're working together as a group here, going from place to place, trying to figure out what's going on in this strange land. And before we jump into the actual game and the recap here, don't forget, down below in the description, we have links to a lot of the things that we discussed in the previous games, the Session 0 stuff. I know people were asking for it after the Session 0 in Episode 1. Everything's there, so, just always check the description for things. If there's anything I forget to put there, I'll definitely post it in the comments down below. Might as well throw the like on there. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going in. You ready, everybody?
Leave a comment.
There we go.
Hit that bell.
All right, here we go. So, yes, last time we played, and we went into the lands of Barovia, you met three women at the Blood on the Vine Tavern, which was their tavern that they owned. Those women did have a strange encounter with Laurent. They seemed to recognize you from somewhere, but were mistaken. Dione, you talked to the women as well. They seem to tell you a couple of things about the place that they're in. You're in Barovia, specifically the village of Barovia, and that this is not a normal place, that it's a strange place. There's a lot of different rules that you're going to have to figure out and get used to. Rufus obviously was struggling to figure out how to get gear and things like that at Bildrath's Mercantile, which is across the street. You ended up meeting Periwimple, who's his nephew, this like jacked store worker, and Bildrath himself was this kind of like grubby, slimy salesman, charged way too much money for all your gear. And then finally, Canas, obviously you and the rest of the group headed down, bought some pies, and then you went to the woman's house who you heard screaming, crying, I should say, not screaming, throughout the town when you first entered. It was a woman named Mary. The townsfolk called her Mad Mary, and that's where you are now. You went into the house of Mary, upstairs into what looks like a child's room. She was sitting there on the floor with a doll in her hand, crying, and told you all that her daughter, who was named Gertrude, went missing. She's pretty sure the devil himself took her. That, of course, would be the devil Strahd. And then we ended it. So here we are, back in Barovia, back in Mary's bedroom here. What do?
Who?
The devil Strahd, she says, again.
Who is the devil Strahd?
And as you say the word Strahd, even, Canas, it almost feels like you get a sense that you will not forget this name. It's like been etched into your mind already. And she says to you, Strahd is the ruler of this land. Again, tears still filling her eyes and streaming down her cheeks. She says, I know it. I know he took her.
When did she disappear?
She disappeared, I think I said over a week ago, like 10 days ago, something like that. Yeah.
Why would Strahd want your daughter?
Why does Strahd do any of the things he does? He's been coming here, night after night.
To the village.
Yes.
What does he do here?
Whatever he wants. He's the supreme ruler of this land. She says he's always watching over us. And she looks like out the window. It looks like to the north or so, on the northern side of the house. And she says, you can't see it right now. When the fog clears, you'll see his home. Ravenloft. It towers over us, watches us all the time. I know that's where she went.
Has he
Raven.
taken any other children besides Gertrude? Any others?
He's taken everyone. Anytime he wants, she says. And then she goes and talks about, she stops, I wouldn't say she stops crying, but she gets a bit more resolve right now. And she points towards the entrance. You're upstairs, but she points towards the exit of the room, which led to the stairwell. And she says, he's been coming here every night, been terrorizing the Burgomaster. I hear the sounds at night. I hear the sounds, the howls.
Will this Strahd be coming tonight?
She says, I don't know.
Should we perhaps become acquainted with him?
Are you referring to her, or are you talking to the group?
I'm talking to everyone.
Yep.
My father, the Lord Gwaindire, was also in charge of a city and area.
Well,
We lived in a castle too, but it was Castle Resplendent, not Ravenloft.
Well, maybe you should be the first to make his acquaintance.
Yes, I feel as his peer may be appropriate.
She doesn't laugh like I just did, but she'll say, you are not his peer. He will not respect your nobility.
But I'm gonna kneel down next to her because I'm moved by this, and I'm gonna take her hand, and then I'm gonna wipe a tear from the cheek and say, my party and I will return your daughter or find out the story of her end.
This will give her a bit of hope. She'll kind of open her eyes wide and say, you'll bring back Gertrude to me?
If it is such a thing can be done.
Oh, she'll hug you and embrace you.
Great.
Small
hug her
woman,
back.
but she's very strong.
Oh. Perhaps we may stay here, or sometime use it as a base of operations while we research.
She said,
We do need a place to rest.
take as long as you need. Please.
Fantastic.
Sounds great.
She's going to go back to the doll and hold it in her hand and just look at it. It's a weird doll, actually. It's kind of it would remind me of one of those corn husk dolls, like one of those. But it's actually made of fabric, not corn. But it looks something like that, like a Raggedy Ann. I don't know, something like that. It's a very weird doll. It looks a little misshapen. It looks like it's finely crafted, but it has a weird shape to it. The head's a little too big. One of the arms is a little longer than the other. It looks off. But it is finely crafted.
And she's keeping it?
She's just holding on to it, looking at it fondly.
Did she say that Gertrude made that? Did she say anything about that last
She
session?
did
We
not.
didn't ask.
She did
so
not.
I'll ask. What is this doll that you're holding?
She says it was Gertrude's. I purchased it for her many years ago. She'll let you see it if you want. I mean, she'll kind of hold it up.
Sure, I'll take it.
Sure. So you take the doll, and you can see it's got a, like I said, it's got like a strange look to it. It just doesn't look right. It's like a small little child's toy, little female toy, and it's got like a sackcloth dress to it. But you notice that on the tag, there is a tag like on the leg, and it has a inscription on it. You want to inspect it?
Yeah, what does it say?
It's a frayed tag bearing the words, quote unquote, "is no fun, is no Blinsky."
I want to ping. Can I cast Detect Magic on it?
Absolutely, yeah. How many of those do you get a day?
Oh, I'm going to use a spell slot.
Oh, it's Detect Magic, not Divine Sense. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, Detect Magic, yeah.
There is no magic.
Can I ping Divine Sense as well?
Divine Sense. Nothing. No, nothing.
Does Blinsky mean anything to me?
No. Mm-mm.
I will ask Mary. What does this saying on the tag mean?
She looks at it and she goes, "It's made by the toy maker, Gadolf Blinsky. The toy maker in Vallaki. Many children's toys were made from there."
Where is Vallaki? I thought Barovia was the only village nearby.
Yes.
"It's not nearby," she says. "It's quite a journey. It will take you a few days on this Falich road."
Is that through the gates that we entered on the way here? Is this somewhere further inside the land?
She says, "Where are you all from? You're not from Barovia."
We all came from Daggerford.
She says, "I don't know where that is, but you must be visitors."
We are now.
She says, "I'm sorry that you're trapped here. We've seen others like you."
When was the last person who came into this village?
"I don't recall," she says. "It's been so long."
Do you know?
But
if
you
there's-
remember it.
Yeah.
"I do. It's some time ago. A wizard or something."
Were you born here?
"I was."
What about the shop owner and his son?
"Yes, most of us were born here."
What happens to the visitors?
She says, "Unless you're a Vistana, you never leave."
Vistana?
Yes, the Vistani, the tavern owners, she says. She recites the names. Mirabelle, Lenka, those people. She says, "Unless you're like them, you never leave this place."
They were not born here?
I cannot say where they were born, but they can leave.
Interesting.
Others cannot.
Are there any more Vistana besides the 3 women?
I'm sure there are. She says, "I'm not the one to ask. I've barely ever left this little village."
Well, we know nothing of Barovia, so your information has been very helpful. And we will pay it in kind and look for your
"Please find Gertruda. Please," she begs you both.
Of course we will.
As a side, the Visconi, were they the people that drugged me and put me here?
Are you asking her or me?
You.
I don't know.
I think you said, did they introduce themselves as Visconi?
Vistani?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe they did.
Okay. Lady,
No.
perhaps you will give us a tour of your house.
She looks around. She kind of is like, "This is all I have." There's like 2 rooms, and downstairs a sitting room, kitchen. That's it. There's nothing else. So she says, you may stay wherever you'd like. I grow tired," she says, "crying all day.
Maybe
need to
stay
rest."
in Gertrude's room.
She's gonna stay there. You could take hers."
You do not think it would be healthy for you to maybe stay in your room, take your mind off it?
Nope. She curls up on Gertruda's bed with the little toy, and that's it. She's like about to fall asleep.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
Yes.
Does she have an armchair?
Sure.
I go into the armchair and I put my feet up. Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah, I'll go into her room and lie down.
Would you like to take your long rest now?
I would.
Okay. So you're going to take your long rest. It was early in the morning, so you're going to wake up or get ready to leave sometime in the late afternoon. If you have to prepare spells, do anything like that, you can do it now. And then we'll get back into the game. I'm going to switch over while you're doing this to our Roll20 screen. And I just realized, actually, that I think... Yeah, where are we here?
Anyone gonna have a pie as a late night snack?
Oh, yes. I
Ooh.
forgot, we need to eat the pies.
Oh, right,
I
the
guess.
pies. Yeah, you want to eat the pies? Yeah.
They probably don't keep very long.
You're right. Probably right, yeah. Who wants to eat their pie?
Me.
Okay, and same with you, Michelle and Tim?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make sure. I thought I labeled these. I don't see the label on our Roll20 screen, though, do you?
What?
Maybe I have it in the wrong
Oh,
setting.
I see it on my screen.
Yeah, why don't I see it on ours, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah. There's an X where we are. Bill drafts
Oh,
over
it's
here.
just
Tavern.
because of the black and white. It's like covered. Look at that.
Oh.
That's funny. I'll have to make it something that's a lighter color, maybe. Interesting. See, this is what happens when you do something like Martin Scorsese. You get these. There we go. Look at that.
Oh,
Nice.
lovely.
There we go. See, we try to be the next great director. Lots of things happen. So this is Bill Drath's Build Tavern, the Blood of the Vine. And Mary's house, I put a token there. There's Mary's token. And then that's the pies, the X is where you got the pies. So you're currently in Mary's house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So does anybody have anything to report on their long rest? Anything you're doing drastically different, or are you ready to move on?
I'm going to get my point of exhaustion back and my 3 hit points from when I got stuck in the fog.
Good call. That's actually a good note there, because the exhaustion was probably really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do much with it yet, but I imagine it was going to get more frustrating as we try to do more stuff.
Especially talking to people, skills. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
The
go ahead.
the only thing I would do is I could cast False Life at will, so I would just cast it as many times as I can until I get the maximum.
I don't think we've met a character named Will, so I think you're okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Michelle and Andrew, anything your character's doing that's out of the ordinary, different?
No, I'm going to ask the other characters if they have a spare dagger.
Maybe you should just what weapons you all have. Just call out what you have.
I have a dagger.
You know what, Rufus? Since I know you're going to be good for that gold, why don't I just lend you this? Because I don't think I need it at the time being. And I'll hand over this silver dagger.
When?
Oh.
Silver. That's important.
Okay. I guess I am feeling a little charitable today. And I will take out one of my daggers and give it to Rufus as well.
Now you got 3 daggers. Look at you.
I only need... I'll take it anyway, yeah. I'm special,
Oh,
so I
okay,
need
I can
more
take it back, no problem.
You could throw
I'll
one
inspect
now,
it.
you know?
Well, no, now I have proper daggers. Like before, I had kind of a dagger that you use to cut up food. Now I have like proper
Yes.
play-in daggers.
Now you don't have to, because your food dagger, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you stab like decaying zombies with it?
Yeah, it's in a bad way. I'm gonna probably toss it now because I don't really want to eat my food with it. It's covered in like decaying zombie meat. It kind of smells.
Yeah. Well,
You can't clean it? You just...
I think that's one of the things
Well,
you never get
I-
off.
I-
you know?
I point to the dagger that Dione gave him, and I say, I would use that for the food. And then I point to the silver one and say, and I'd use that for the zombies.
Well, I had plenty of silverware when growing up, had silver spoons and such.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
nobility. Look at you.
We had quite the variety of. In fact, in Castle Resplendent, you would be shocked to see the amount of polishing required every quarter by the servants. All our silver plate.
What was
silver
your
spoons,
castle
silver
called?
knives.
What'd you call your castle?
Castle Resplendent,
Oh,
Resplendent.
Look at you.
named
I
because
love
of the
it.
white stone it was produced from.
Naturally. Good. I like this. I like how you're throwing in more bits of your background here. I like that. So, so you have your long rest, and everybody gets all their, normal benefits to the long rest, and good to note some of these things. You wake up, and it's about, like I said, 3 o'clock or so, 4 o'clock maybe in the afternoon. You look out the window, and it's still very overcast, but the fog, it has seemed to lift it a little bit. It's still foggy, and you see in the distance there's more fog, but you can see what Mary's talking about right now. You actually look out the window to the northern side of the house, and you can see the silhouette of a great castle. Its massive stoneworks rise high into that mountainous area to the northwest of the village of Barovia. It is looming and looking over the entire village, and probably much more of the land that you just can't see from your vantage point, but it does tower over everything else here. And you can see it in the distance. Okay, now what do you do? Where do you go from here? I have the map open, so if you want to point to things.
Before we leave, would anyone be opposed to me taking Gertruda's doll? 'Cause I kind of want it.
I wonder if Mary would be
Yeah,
opposed.
you could ask.
Well, she doesn't seem like she's not opposed to parting ways with it, right?
And the way she snatched it back after I looked at it, I'm not sure.
Tim, you can just get up from your sleeping position wherever you are, walking down the hall and see the door to Gertruda's, which is open. I think Canas even stayed in there. You can see Mary sleeping still. The doll kind of just laying there. Her hand is kind of over it, but the doll is definitely loose from her grip.
Oh, I would for sure like to filch that if I can.
Okay, go ahead. Give me a sleight of hand check. Actually, no,
Oh,
it's not a
boy.
sleight of hand. It's more stealthier because you got to be quiet as you walk around, tiptoe on the wooden floorboards.
You want a stealth check?
Yeah, stealth check. Yeah,
You?
yeah. It's a shame you're not disadvantaged on this like you were.
Thank goodness. It'll be a 13 for stealth.
So you walk over there, and it's like the creaks of every floorboard, right? You just you try to avoid it, but every time you step, something depresses and makes a squeak. You get to Mary's bedside, and you reach out, and she does that classic what do you do?
Be very still for a second until I think she's back to sleep, and then we'll reach out ever so slowly. I will just take that doll off the shelf and put it in my pocket or my bag.
You see her breath go steady again. Up, down, her chest rises. Up, down. You grab the doll. You pull it. Her hand flops down back to the bed. And you get out of the room.
Nice.
All right, so
I
you're
will
back out.
sneak back out very slowly.
Canas is right there. He sees exactly what you're doing.
I'm not even going to try and hide it.
Is this still the middle of our rest?
No, it's at the end.
Okay. So I'll just walk out. And then once we're out of an earshot, I'll kind of just say, you seem like a pretty jolly, convincing fellow. Maybe you could have just asked.
If she was awake, I swear to you, I would have. But it didn't seem worth waking her up. She's been crying all day, and I didn't want to wake her up.
Well, I pat him on the back. Good job. We might need this.
I promise you it will become very useful for us.
The rest of you come out to the hallway. You see the two of them chatting by the stairwell. Where to now?
Well, it seems the large building, was it the church? Is that the church?
Mhm.
Were we told it was a church?
You saw the it looked like a church from a distance.
Okay. Perhaps we can get more information there. I don't know. Large building. Maybe it's an important one. Any other ideas?
As good a place to start as any.
Okay.
I agree.
You step out and you start walking north. As you're passing by the Bildrat's Mercantile, you can see that there are people in the streets. They're going about their day, commoners. Some people carrying wheelbarrows full of, whatever grain or something like that they've harvested. Some people just moving about the streets. And you see people, you hear, actually, before you see this, but you hear the sound of, like, wheels on cobblestone. You hear, like, a carriage going through the town. And as you're walking towards Bildrat's, you see a couple people who are commoners facing you look back, and then, like, a woman will grab her child and, like, head into the, like, nearby alleyway between two homes or something like that. Another person you'll see will scuttle and hustle past the intersection out of your sight. Seems like something is coming. And when you get to Bildrat's, you can see what everybody was doing. A carriage has pulled up towards the Blood of the Vine Tavern, and a hooded figure walks out towards this carriage. The carriage is black. It's a very fancy carriage, something that would be, you might even see at Castle Resplendence. It's that type of high society, right? As you can see, it's a very fancy carriage. And it's pulled by two black horses. I mean, they're jet black in color. There's a coach rider. The coach rider has, like, a top hat, very high collar to it, also all dressed in black. You can barely see any of the face of the carriage, the coach driver. And a man, again, that hooded figure coming out of the Blood of the Vine Tavern, seems to be putting gloves of some sort on. Also wearing what would be definitely like royalties or nobles' clothing. I actually have a picture to show you.
Oh boy.
You see a very pale figure as the hood comes off. He's brandishing this longsword at his side. Clearly, this is someone of importance, as people in the tavern, the Vistani women, they are, waving goodbye from the entranceway, and other people that have gathered are, I wouldn't say necessarily hiding, but they are definitely avoiding the intersection as best they can. Maybe a dozen or so people here watching what's going on. Some people are actually moving away from the intersection.
What time is it now? Did we sleep the day and the night away, or is it?
It's about 4 p.m.
Okay, so we just slept a portion of the day.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The Vistani women from the Blood on the Vine Tavern, when they're waving, are they waving like jovially, or are they waving like, please leave us alone, God help us?
Give me an insight check, Tim.
Sure can. Let's see. Be a solid 17.
17. They don't look like they are fearful, but they also don't look like they are joyous or anything like that, like happy that this person visited them. It's I would equate it to the sense of, like, well, we're all teachers here, right? So, I guess Andrew's not, but like when you have maybe an observation from a coordinator or something like that.
Got it. Yeah. Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
That's a good comparison. I have a very clear image.
They're like,
of their emotions.
thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, okay.
We can't see his face.
You do. When he pulled off the figure, I said you see it. It's a pale
okay. Yes.
man's face.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very distinct features. I mean, like chiseled jawbone, like proud, strong nose. You can also see the widow's peak of his jet black hair coming to a point. And he's brandishing that longsword and the noble's clothing.
How far away is he?
How far away do you want to be from him? I mean, you're in the intersection as well.
I'll walk a bit closer so I can get a good look.
You hear, like, audible gasps from the commoners as you approach. He'll look at you as you approach. He looks like he is not concern in the least.
Does he look at me in a way that would invite greeting?
Sort of. I mean, he's not looking for. He's about to get into the carriage, but he looks to you and he stands there waiting as you approach.
Oh, he waits for me to speak.
Yep.
Well, I'll approach. I'll say, "Good day. I am Rufus Gwaindire at your service, sir."
He says, "Rufus Gwaindire. A good day
Yes.
to you too."
I am the brother of the Lord Gwaindire, Lord of the Gwaindire.
He's studying you, looking you up and down. Also, at the same time, still putting on those gloves that I had mentioned before. The coach driver, who, when he gets down off the coach to open the door for him, you could see this man is also rather large and imposing, very similar to build of them. How tall is Rufus?
6'1".
All right, they're maybe just about your height or a little taller, at the very least, just an inch or two taller. They are also very pale skin. You can see the coach driver most of his face is hidden from that big collar, but you notice his eyes, they kind of look like red, almost like a low glow that they give off, red. And he opens the coach door for this man, and he says, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Rufus Gwaindire. I am Strahd von Zarovich."
I say, "Pleasure to meet you too."
I take it you're from out of town.
Yes, we all arrived here, my companions and I, in mysterious circumstances. A strange mist brought us from a forest, and then we appeared here. We have not been to Barovia before, or even previously aware of its existence.
How fascinating, he says. You'll have to tell me more about it. Perhaps another time. Perhaps I'll have you for dinner.
I would be delighted to make your acquaintance more over dinner.
He looks at all of you too, the three of you that were standing behind.
After he said his name, I might bow my head a little bit.
Ooh, very nice.
I'm trying my best to hide behind the other guys.
But I was when he walked forward, I remained kind of frozen, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, to say I was 50 feet, 30, 50 feet away or something
Sure.
like that. But I am bowing after he said his name.
Laurent and Dione, are you also showing some sort of reverence here?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to approach closer. And I think when he announces himself as a lord, it would make sense to politely incline my head.
Okay. Dione?
Yeah, I'm doing my best to stand behind everyone else and pretend I'm not there and just avoid eye contact. But if he does catch my eye, then I'll just be a quick little bob.
He manages to catch everybody's eye. He has one moment where he looks over and he's locks eyes with Canas, Dione, Laurent, and when he looks at you, all three of you probably would get this chill down your spine. You get this. He gives you a weird vibe. I need the three of you to roll me a d20, please.
I hate it.
I got a 15.
Canas, you see something. You see that even though it's very overcast, you can still see that he has a shadow being produced on the ground. And that shadow, nobody else seems to notice this, but the shadow detaches from where he's at, and it swoops over across the ground right next to you. And you look down, you see your shadow being cast, and you see his shadow grab your shadow and bite its neck, and your shadow's flailing. Your shadow disappears as his shadow returns back to him by the carriage.
Oh my god.
You have no shadow anymore. You look around, you see Laurent's casting a shadow, Dione is, the commoners around you are, but yours is not.
And to the rest of us, he looks totally normal.
You haven't looked to him probably, but
Okay,
if
fair
you
enough. Yeah.
were to look like see, he looks like he's looking for his shadow, and you don't see it either.
I mean, it's like an overcast day, like that. The light's weird.
He says,
I don't understand physics.
Strahd says
I
to Strahd says to Rufus, he says, "Well, I must be going. Look for my invitation. I look forward to meeting you and your friends more intimately."
Well, thank you. We are
Enjoy
currently lodging with I don't know if you know the house down the road with Mary. She was quite upset, so we're lodging with her. If you need to find us to invite us.
Unfortunately, I don't know every civilian. As you yourself would know, it's almost impossible task.
Of course. Well, we will frequent the inn, so we will be able to receive messages there.
Good. I look forward to it. And he'll step in the carriage, put on his hat, and bid you farewell. The carriage takes off on the cobblestone, heading to the northwest.
When I said about Mary, did he have any visible response?
Give me an insight check. What'd you get?
So just doing it now. 12.
He didn't flinch one bit.
Perhaps Mary is her imagination has got carried away. She's just a commoner.
Yeah, I'm sure that was it. All right.
Well, as the carriage pulls away, I'm gonna lean over to the other guys and be like, "That guy, he gives me the EBGBs."
Well, that was rather unpleasant. As I look around, I tried to not move at all, I would say, as that was happening.
Yeah, you were able to compose yourself. Yeah,
But for sure, my eyes widened. Maybe I was, of course, Strahd probably sensed a little bit of the shakes. But I would say I tried to compose myself as much as possible.
Yeah.
I look around and I say, did anyone else see that?
See what?
I point out their shadows.
Yeah.
These are shadows.
And then I gesture to my feet.
Whoa! And Dione will go over and start like doing this under Canas's like hands and stuff. I guess the sun just goes like straight through. Wow, this is incredible! Wow, guys, check this out.
You're
I
holding
turn to Laurent and I say, I hope this won't have any lasting negative effects. I don't quite believe myself as I say it.
What's a shadow good for anyway? They just tag along and get in the way.
Frankly, it'll probably be easier to be stealthy without it.
That's the positive side of things.
Yeah, so you got to look at the positives here in Barovia. There's a silver lining to every gray mist.
And that silver lining is currently blocking your shadow.
Yeah.
So,
and Bob gives me a permanent +2 to stealth.
No, but
I didn't think so.
But maybe there's a way to get your shadow back. I don't know. Maybe it'll grow back.
Bob, does the name when he says his full name, Strahd von Zarvich, does that like ring any bells from my letters or anything?
It would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll dive more into that shortly. I just want to make sure it did. Yeah, I thought it did. Cool.
All right.
But I haven't heard of him, even with my extensive knowledge of nobility.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of him. Mad Mary.
I guess like I lived my life in the forget what it's called.
Underdark.
Underdark.
Yes. Have I ever heard whispers of his name in the Underdark?
Never.
Okay.
Well, he did invite us to dinner.
Yes, he did say he wanted to have you for dinner.
Wait, I might as well complete the trifecta. During my research, have I ever heard of
Perhaps.
Ah, perhaps. Haha, you guys.
I'll text you something separately, Stefano.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So at the end of this encounter here, you see the civilians all like stay behind and like eye you. They look at you, but then after a minute or so, they carry on about their day again.
Do we want to keep going to the church, or do we want to check in at the tavern?
I would be willing to go to the church still.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Although it may be prudent of us to speak to the owners now that we know a little more about them.
As we might find out some more information about the character of this Strahd.
I am also curious about their ability to leave.
Mm. It
And we
would be
could make-
cool to know more about the Vistani.
So a quick stop in the inn.
Yeah. We should let them know that he may have a message for us in the future.
Rufus,
Okay, so we'll stop by the tavern real quick. So you'll let a minute or two go by. The tavern, the carriage is out of sight and out of earshot. You head into the tavern again. There's barely anybody in there. In fact, there's no other patrons other than the owners. So no other people other than the owners. No patrons. So you head in, and the women greet you again. They say, "Ah, back for dinner. It seems good, excellent."
Well, we were just stopping by. I just became acquainted with Lord Strahd.
They all nod their head in agreement, and they say, "He's an imposing figure, isn't he?"
He said he may invite us to dinner, or at least myself. Perhaps you could look out for a message and keep it for us, if such comes.
The women are like, "You don't. We will definitely take messages for you. That's fine."
And I'll say,
Yeah.
what's he like, this Strahd?
He can be quite ruthless from time to time, they say.
does he visit every day?
They say not every day. Recently, they all kind of look at each other and they kind of nod in agreement that it's okay to say this. And who was the one you talked to mostly? I forget her name now. It was Alenka. That's the one. Alenka will kind of be the spokeswoman here. And she'll say, recently he's been here more, yes. Especially over the last few weeks.
Just can you just what's their age again? Because in my head, I'm now somehow fixated on the Disney, the three muses, these three comically old ladies is what I'm imagining, and that can't be right?
I would say they're more like middle-aged, maybe
Okay,
in their
cool.
30s, 40s, yeah. Mm-hmm. Strahd has been here quite a bit more as of late. Throughout the years, he comes to the village from time to time, I would say, but he seems to be very fixated on the Burgomaster's daughter.
We
I
spoke to the crying lady. She introduced herself as Mary. Do you know her?
Ah, Mad Mary, of course. We all know
She's-
Mad Mary.
She spoke of her daughter, Gertrude.
Oh,
Gertrude.
come now. She says, there is no Gertrude. She doesn't have a daughter.
Well, she said she had been taken a week or so ago. An 18-year-old.
She's called Mad Mary for a reason.
Oh.
Then who does this doll belong to? And I'll pull out Gertrude's doll.
They're
I
like,
told you to be useful.
you took that from Mary's townhouse?
Well, don't tell her, but yeah.
Don't worry, Mary never comes in here, so you'll be fine.
Does she ever go anywhere?
If you ever see her out of her house, it'd be a spectacle for sure.
I'm sorry, can we back up a bit?
There's a lot
you
of
were-
information going on right now.
You mentioned the Burgomeister's daughter,
That
and
is also important, yes.
Strahd is interested in her or taken with her, you said?
Strahd has had many consorts over the years, but he seems to be very fixated on Irina.
We've heard of this, Irina.
I don't see one of the other girls will chime in. Mirabelle, she'll be. I don't see what she's so interested in.
Perhaps you
Oh.
wish he was interested in you.
No, but I don't see the fascination.
Just
When when was the last time you saw her?
Oh, the Burgermeisters kept her locked in the house for weeks now.
Which house?
yes, where's the Burgomaster's house?
In the Burgomeister's mansion. She looks out the window and she points down the road you just came. Beyond Mary's house. It's the last house on the road.
Wow.
Ah,
I'll switch over a map so our viewers can see that down here. This is the Burgomeister's mansion.
Wondering what that was.
Got it.
She says, but I don't think you'll be allowed in. She says, not just, his name is Kolyan, is the Burgomaster, but Ismark also, very protective of his sister.
Ah, yes, Ismark.
Yes, you met Ismark, the Lesser.
why do you refer to him as the Lesser?
Everybody in the village refers to him as the Lesser.
He has an elder brother.
No, his father. He's always been a revered Burgomaster. Everyone considers Ismark the Lesser.
So how long have you been living here in Barovia?
We've owned this place for, what now, 10 years, girls? They all nod.
Ah. And how often do you leave?
From time to time, whenever we decide.
How does one leave? With the mist, does it disperse?
For us, it does. You'll come to learn all of this. The old Svalich Road leads out of here, but you won't be able to travel this way.
Which way can we travel?
Well, you're more than welcome to go west. There are other villages.
And this is the main village, then.
Used to be, perhaps, many years ago, before our time. But this place is... I mean, you see what it looks like outside. It's not pleasant.
I do. Mm-hmm.
There's Valaki to the northwest, and beyond that, Kresk. Those are the main settlements. There are a few other places, but it's a quaint little region, Barovia.
Can you take people with you when you leave?
Unfortunately, we don't make the rules. That you'll have to talk to Strahd for.
I was going to say, I assumed he made the rules.
You're catching on. You're catching on. Very good. Very good.
We
So he
are
does not
very
have-
we are very new here, as it is very clear. I tried to hide that fact originally, but it doesn't seem that that's an easy thing to do.
We figured it out rather quickly.
I think everyone did.
We'll deliver any messages to you. You can always check back here.
Thank you.
All right. So you exit the tavern, and, it's getting on in the night here. It's darkening, but it's not dark yet. You can still see the church. You want to head there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the church is at the northern end of this map here. You can move your token to the church, and I'll describe it to you. All right, so this is, I would say that out of all the buildings here, this probably looks like one of the oldest. It also, you could see, has seen better days. Atop a slight rise against the roots of pillared stone, you can see a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church is weathered. It seems like it's had the assaults of evil on it for centuries on end. It's worn and weary. The bell tower, which you probably noticed first from the distance, rises toward the back of the church, and flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. And also from here, you can see the castle silhouette even better than from Mary's house. It's still it's a ways in the distance. It's like miles away in the distance, but it's there. Its presence always felt. You walk up towards the front. There's a little stairs that kind of lead up, maybe 4 or 5 steps, and you can see that the doors of this church are covered with claw marks and are scarred by fire.
Can I look closely at the claw marks to see if I can identify what sort of creatures might have left them?
Give me a survival check, sure.
Survival. Ooh, okay. A 20 on that one.
You would be certain that these are wolf claw, werewolf claw, specifically. With a 20? Yeah, werewolf claws.
Werewolf claws. Okay.
Do you introduce this information to the group? Or you
Yes.
keep it to yourself?
Oh, I will say, do you remember Mary said there were nightly owls? I think it may be werewolves. These look like werewolf markings.
Foul creatures.
They are not so bad. Kind of cute, huh? Puppies? You don't like puppies? Anyway.
I have no problem with puppies nor wolves. It's the were variety that I despise.
Well, anywhere but here, right?
I am not a dog person.
Does this church have a name?
You don't see any name. There's nothing on it. The only thing that you can see is a symbol, perhaps atop the church, like at the above the door. It looks like maybe something like a version that you might have seen, like of a sun, Lathander. For those of you who are Forgotten Realms, obviously you know Lathander is like the god of the sun, god of the dawn. I know Andrew.
I'm acquainted with him.
Yeah, Andrew's previous character, Icewind Dale, was a follower of Lathander.
Right, a big Lathander fan.
If this is a Lathander symbol, it's unfamiliar to any of you, but it could be. Maybe it's a very old one, like one from centuries earlier, that doesn't get used much anymore. It looks very similar though.
But generally to us, it just looks like a sun.
Yeah, a sun symbol, a sun god symbol. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I go in? Are the doors open?
They are. You can open them easily. They're closed, but you can open them.
Have we heard the bell ring from the bell tower since we've arrived?
You have not. Mm-mm.
Okay.
You open the doors, and inside you can really understand that this place has become a place of disaster. The doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. There are 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, that lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from inside reciting a prayer. I'm going to switch us over to a map, if you will.
Wow.
What do you do?
Our first map.
Is it your first map, really?
No, it's our second. Probably.
Okay.
Let
me-
Oh yeah, we had the misty
The combat,
forest
yeah.
path.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So never mind. No.
with the zombies.
So, zombies, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting your tokens in, and we'll get there in a second. I'll put Yune down, even though she is invisible.
I'd like to look around first before approaching this person. Are there pictures, you might see in a church, like stained glass murals or anything like that?
I see what you mean. Let me just get rid of some of this here.
as you as you
Okay.
fix the map so that we can't see certain things.
Yeah, no, it's good though. I'm going to switch this over right now. Boom. Okay, so there's your map. You're at the front door. You can open the door. Can you all see through this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Move yourselves where you'd like to. And Stefano, we'll just go, maybe we will go just like down the order if there's anything you want to do or specifically. One of the things I liked about playing Shadow Dark, which was the Tomb of Horror stream we did for so long, is that even when you're not in combat, you go in an initiative basically. I might just do that in this, go down the order so you can all do something. Obviously, Stefano, you just said you want to do something, so I'll go with you first, and then we'll go down the line. So Tim, Michelle, and then Andrew, you can tell me what your characters are doing. So Stefano, you look around the hallways for any pictures or anything like that. There are none. In fact, it looks like this place, it looks like it has been almost destroyed, ransacked even. There are no pictures. There are no portraits. There are very few religious iconography around, but maybe when you get to the chapel area where you hear the prayer being recited, you'll see more. But for right now, there are 4 doors. They are closed, and it leads to a open chapel. Move your token as well. And then, Tim, what about you? Is there anything you want to do on your way down?
Yeah, I think as I walk in, can I just try the first door on the left and see if it's unlocked?
It is. Let me unlock it for you.
Awesome. Just like to poke around in that room, or at least look into the room without poking around too much.
Guys, Roll20 just did an update. I'm on this all the time, literally all the time. And they just did an update from the weekend, must be. I can now, I don't have to go, I know this is maybe not important to you, but I can toggle all the light fixtures on the main screen, and I don't have to go through my views, to change the view of it all. And I can control it all on my side, and it shows up on your side right away. It's
it looks very clean on the player side right now.
It's
yeah,
fantastic.
Are the doors, those doors are new?
Those are new. So
Yeah.
Roll20 just did a great job. This is making me thrilled right now. So
That's
It's
cool.
very clean, yeah.
yeah,
Well done, Roll20.
there we go. All right, so here we go. Let's jump in to Laurent. You go down and open that door, right?
Yeah, and I just like to step inside the room.
Yep, you do. I'll tell you exactly what it is. So this is some sort of bedroom. It's a dirty, lightless room, though, so you're only getting the residual light from the chapel. But you can clearly see that it's a bedroom. It's kind of messy. It's got a straw-filled mattress mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden holy symbol, also that of a sun.
Nice.
We go to Michelle. What are you doing?
Dione is going to enter, but just kind of stand back at the end of the hallway. And she's going to listen to what this praying person is saying. Try to catch some keywords or anything that kind of stands out.
Sure. Give me a perception check, because the person is whispering, not whispering, I should say, but praying quietly.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my best listening ears.
Go for it.
Well, all right. So we have a 17.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can hear a bit of the prayer. You hear, to the morning Lord, please give me strength. We need you. We need you more than ever. And probably at this point, Stefano's character, Canas, gets to the chapel, and the priest who was praying in the other room stands up. Now, the priest is definitely weirded out by seeing you all there. When you approach Canas, he stands almost like he's embarrassed to be doing what he was just doing. I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was here. Who are you? And Andrew, I'll just let you take your turn real quick. Move your character's token where you want to be.
Well, I'm going to let them talk to the priest. I want to go into this door where I've just put my character just here.
Okay. Put your ear to the door or open it?
Open it and walk through.
Inside here, you can see it looks like it's a smaller room. Time and neglect have clearly messed with this place. There's holes. Looks like they've been punched in the ceiling. It's moldy. It's got a broken roof. Clearly, the shingles are missing in the areas. There's puddles of water on the floor. In one corner, you can actually see that there's a heavy wooden trap door, and it looks like it is shut. There's a chain and a padlock.
Okay.
And he says, excuse me. You can hear his voice is hoarse. Like, that's why when he was saying it quietly, Michelle, you get this now. His voice is hoarse. It's like shot. So he wasn't like whispering. It was just his voice is like gone. Like that point in when you get a cold and you can barely speak.
Right.
That's where he's at right now. He can barely speak. Please, come here. You're not supposed to go in those rooms. And
I come out and talk to him.
Are you the keeper of this church?
I am. Father Donovich, at your service. He looks a little tense. He's like jittery. You can see he's like, he seems like he's scared, honestly.
I'll go up and put my hand on his shoulder.
He'll like tense up as he sees you coming near him. He's like, I don't want any trouble.
Don't worry about him. He is the opposite of trouble.
Yeah, in fact, he can't stop talking.
I am Rufus Gwaindire, brother of the Lord Gwaindire.
He's resplendent.
No, from Castle Resplendent, in the town of Gwaindire, Gwaindire City.
There's Father Donovich. A bit pudgier, on the pudgier side. He's older, probably closer to 50 years old. You can see the graying hair. Looks like a nice man. Just very scared right now. And you can see the symbol that you saw on the church, the front of the church, that like sun symbol. He's wearing it on his, what's that? The vestments, the cleric vestments. He's got that.
Like his cowl.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's got that there on it. You can see the sun kind of making that symbol right there. Andrew, he'll say, Father Donovich, at your service.
Why is your church in such poor repair?
He looks at you all and he's like, he can't really stop this, but he's got to laugh. He says, "You think I want it in this way? I don't.
What happened?
The people. They shun the church. Blasphemers, all of them.
The people of this village.
Yes. The Barovians.
Is the Lord Strahd not a patron of the church? Does he not provide funds for its upkeep?
He says,
That's time I start laughing.
Strahd. He says, he says, you don't work for Strahd, do you? I'm sorry. He gets on his knees. He's like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have spoken that way.
No, we are strangers here.
We just met him.
He says, don't lie to me. And he'll grab you by your shirt, Rufus. Don't lie to me. I can't take it.
I say, we are but strangers here. I say, I'm from Gwaindire.
You're not lying, are you?
No, I'm a man of honor.
Don't lie. He lets go of you. He kind of calms down a bit. He's like, sorry, You never know who you're talking to sometimes.
These surroundings are depressing. It's excusable.
Father, this is clearly a place of, not this church, but this whole area seems to be a place of darkness. Surely there must be some light in Barovia.
Light. There was once light in this land, but never again.
Do any other followers of the light still grace this place with their presence?
I do.
Just you?
My son.
Where is your son?
He's lost. He's lost.
What do you mean he is lost? How is he lost?
He died by the hand of Strahd.
Was he a criminal?
My son?
Yes. Why did
Not at
Strahd
all.
kill him?
Not at all. His hoarse voice kind of gets louder, but you can tell he can't really raise it that much. He died about a year ago.
And have you also been in this place your entire life?
I've been here my whole life. And I've never seen this place so bad than right now. He says, my son left me a year ago, followed some damn wizard. The wizard came through here, just like you did, an outsider. He got everybody into this swirl of emotions, took them to the castle. Never saw them again.
Castle Ravenloft.
He nods.
Is that why the town is so deserted?
Exactly. It's a nightmare here.
Do you know what lies between this village and the castle?
Not much. Vast wilderness. A dangerous road to travel. But you can get there. I wouldn't, he says. Don't do it.
We're staying with a Mary. People call her Mad Mary. She told us she lost a daughter, Gertruda, an 18-year-old, just 10 days ago. But people dispute this. Do you know anything about this?
I know Mary. Before she was Mad Mary, as the townsfolk call her. She was pleasant. And she has not been to church in many years. Probably about just that many, referencing the 18 that you said.
So you'd never met her daughter?
I have not. But I do know that she was expecting a child. Most people believe that she never survived.
Interesting.
Listen, I don't know what you're here for, but if it's prayer, I can say one, but most prayers don't come true here. The Morning Lord has abandoned us.
Is that the symbol on your robes?
It is, and he'll hold it and put his hand to his chest. But we haven't seen the morning light, long as I can remember.
Well, perhaps one day he will find a way to shine through again.
If you're looking for directions or other information, I would talk with the Burgomaster.
Yes.
Why didn't-
The Burgomaster down the street, yes?
That's what I would do. Kolyan. In fact, it would be good to hear his voice. He's been locked up for weeks.
Oh,
Why didn't you
Locked
want us
up
to
or-
go in the other rooms? I would like a tour.
Couple of things. You say that, and then I think there was some reaction to, what'd you say? The Burgomaster?
He said locked up. Does he mean locked up or sequestered?
The Burgomaster has been staying home, protecting his daughter from Strahd. I don't know when you arrived, but he's been visiting her attempting to visit her many nights in a row. The Burgomaster has kept himself home. I would love to hear his voice. He's a good friend.
So you'd like us to bring him here?
I would like to see my friend.
Or perhaps you'll come with us?
I don't want to leave the church right now. I'm in the middle of prayer. Perhaps you could find out if he could seek me out
we could pray together?
We could ask.
That would be nice. It would be pleasant. I will pray for all of you while you are gone. Your names again?
I'm Canas.
Rufus, Gwaindire.
Yes, Rufus.
My name is Dione.
Dione. And you?
Laurent, Father, Laurent.
He'll eye you suspiciously, Laurent, and say,
If you are working for Strahd, you don't need to lead me on anymore. Just end it.
Is that specifically addressed to me?
to the rest of you all, yeah, to all of you, really.
I was gonna say I am certainly not, Father. I just got here, same as everyone else.
Good. I'm going to pray.
Thank you, Father.
He'll move back to the altar and sit down. What do you do?
Before we go to leave, can I cast guidance on him? And I can cast guidance in a 60-foot range with my my class, just in case he's going for a religion thing. I want him to feel like he is getting, if not an answer, at least some kind of, whatever his religion is, he should get some kind of composure from it.
Sure. How does guidance usually? What is guidance actually? Like, what's this? Can you look at the spell description for me?
I can. It says you touch one willing creature, but for the College of Bards, like College of Spirits, it can be anyone within 60 feet. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number, roll 2 with one ability check of its choice.
Are there ingredients
roll
to
the
this?
die.
Are there components to this? Spell components?
Verbal and semantic.
You'll do this. You'll give him guidance, offer it up as in the form of like a some sort of consolation or something like that.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Okay. He'll thank you for your kind words and, again, go to pray.
Any murals or figures in this main area?
There is. You'll see at the altar and above it that symbol again. It's more elaborate here rather than outside, but it looks like it's been defaced a bit. But it does look more like that of a Lathander symbol, like a symbol of the sun, and more, I would say, intricately carved here in the chapel.
Okay. But no figures.
No figures. And he calls it the Morning Lord.
I am going to, as I watch him pray, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, maybe like 10, 15 feet above his altar. I just want to make it look like a sun, like the image of a sun shining bright hovers there for a moment, like 15 feet above the altar.
Sure. So like a sun image. I think with Minor Illusion, it doesn't have any like it's not like what was I gonna say, like special effects. It looks like just like a solid piece of sun, but yeah, like I guess it'd be like an artwork of a sun, like a solid, it doesn't like wave or flicker or anything like that, but it's there and it looks real. And he'll look up at it and look back at you and give you a little smirk, like you did cheer him up just a bit. But then when he looks back up at it, you can see the sun turning black. And it looks like it's starting to like turn into like a wispy black smoke as eventually it snuffs out and goes away. And you did not control that.
Oh, sorry that that last bit was not me. I never mind.
Can I gesture to Dione?
Yeah.
Come here. Will you follow me?
I shuffle over.
I'm going to go into here again. This room here. You can follow me if you want.
Oh, to the room with the
with
door.
The trap door.
Yep.
Okay, I suppose I am following this this man who has no sense. But okay, here I am.
Look at this trap door. Do you think you could pick this lock? I'm curious.
I will try. This is one of my favorite activities. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick this lock with my thieves' tools.
Sure, go for it.
What? I apologize.
So it's
What
actually
do I
would
click?
so it actually would be the thieves' tools, but I don't know that that's something that you have to program separately. So I would just do a dexterity and add your proficiency to it.
Oh,
So we'll
okay.
just like if you
Cool.
roll if you roll a 10, it's a 12, whatever.
Sure. Okay, so my dex modifier is a +3. So a 14.
So it would end up being like
Like
16, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So yeah,
16.
this takes a moment. Obviously, you take out your tools, you start to figure out which ones are going to be the best for the job here. You assess the manacles and the chain, and you insert and start to tinker.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, I hope there is a lot of gold down here. I get really into it. I'm excited.
after a few moments, you hear the click. You've unlocked the padlock. But Father Donovich is in the other room, and he'll get up and say, "Excuse me, you are not supposed to be in there." And he'll walk towards the door, and you'll hear him coming, Rufus. You'll see him kind of maybe 20 feet away, walking down the hall. What do you do?
Stand there embarrassed.
He's
Do I hear him when he says like
Yeah.
you're not supposed?
he's
Oh.
loud. He's as loud as his hoarse voice can carry.
This is
Okay.
not your home. You cannot just go anywhere. These are church private quarters. My bedroom you're in.
And he looks into the bed, the one with the bed, and he looks to the one to the left that you're in right now. That you're in. You left the other door open, but you're in that one right now. And he says, "The storage for the church. You're not supposed to be in here."
Rufus, did you not hear him say this the first time?
What
I
is?
just
what is
silently
in-
point at Rufus. I'm just like,
I lost my equipment. I was just wondering what was down here.
I don't have any equipment for you. I'm not an adventurer, but the Burgomaster, I guarantee you he'll have something for you. I thought you were going there to get him for me.
I apologize. My curiosity is very strong in me.
Michelle, he's outside the door still. Do you want to lock the lock again, or do you want to keep it open?
can I shut the door but leave it unlocked?
So all you did was unlock the chain. You haven't opened the trap door.
Okay, then I will leave it as is. Be like, oh, we did not even look. Don't worry.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a deception check as you like slowly walk back towards the door. Trying to make it so that you keep that out of place.
Yeah. Nothing happened. This is fine.
19? Oh yeah. He's like, "It's okay. I've had a very rough day," he says.
We understand. We forgive you. No problem. And I
And,
confidently stride out as if I've done nothing wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll walk out of the church.
Okay. You probably get out now. You've had this conversation. You went to the bar. Everything. It's dark now outside, so we'll have a light source. Somebody has a lantern or something like that.
Yeah, I've got a torch I can light.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
me.
I would say you're in a village and there would be lights or something, lamps outside, but no, there's not here. Very dark. So you take out a torch or a lantern. Laurent will be the torch bearer, lantern bearer, and you start heading out into the streets once more. Rain is starting to fall as you head back through the town. There are no villagers anymore. The homes are all lit. It seems like people are in for the night. The tavern does have a few patrons. It looks like they're eating in there. You'll see the women and the barkeep that are still there at work. But for the most part, the village is quiet. You want to go straight to the Burgomaster's mansion, or do you want to go back to Man Mary's? Or somewhere else?
I'm down to go to the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah, the Burgomaster sounds good.
Although if it's like approaching dusk and nightfall, then that is apparently when all manner of beasts appear in this village. So we should be mindful of the passage of time.
Yes. Yes, definitely. It is dark now, so it's, dinner time, that sort of thing.
Well, we're only like half a block away.
Yeah, you're not far. The village is... It's not like
Okay.
going
We
across
see Strahd leave.
Yeah.
Strahd did presumably leave in his carriage.
That's right.
Okay.
He was chilling.
Fair. All right. Let's go to this mansion.
All right, I'll switch us over real quick to our Roll20 view. So you head down to the mansion. Somebody move the token down here.
Mhm.
It's this area right here. There we go. So you head through the town, and you can see this is one of the nicer areas of town. The house itself is large, probably one of as big as the tavern was, honestly. However, just like the church, this house has seen better days. A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and the clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself, yet against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path all about the domain. You also see heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have been assailed to the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omens. So it's a nice house.
You mentioned that
I'll knock on the door.
Tim, what were you going to say?
Is it the same, like, you mentioned, like, the fire patterns and claw marks? Is it, like, identical to the ones that were on the church?
You would say so, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you approach through the weed-choked yard, and you get to a door. Give me a perception check, Canas, as you approach.
Okay. Uh, 20. Dirty 20.
You can see scores of paw prints, humanoid footprints, as well as what looks like a clawed feet and hands. So like actual like dog wolf marks, but then also like werewolf marks.
Uh-huh.
And people, humanoid footprints.
It seems this person is just as well liked as Father Donovich.
They did say they were fast friends.
Mm-hmm. I'll knock.
Okay.
Three sharp knocks.
You get up to the door, and the door is also covered with planks. It's got, not covered with planks, excuse me. The door is locked, right? 100% locked. But you see the planks on the windows that are flanking it on the ground level. And there's 2 levels to this house. It's pretty big. You knock 3 sharp knocks, and you don't hear anything. I mean, there is silence inside.
Are there any, like, cracks between the planks and the windows that I might be able to peer through?
Let's see. You go up to one of the windows. You'll probably need a boost because it's a little raised above the ground, so you're short. So you probably would need a boost.
I volunteer.
I stand on my tiptoes, but I still can't see. So a big sigh of resignation. I say, okay, boost me up.
Yeah. Laurent will give you a little boost. And while there is no, like, definitive crack, you can still see between the boards just a bit. There is light coming from inside. That you can tell. The immediate room here, just again through this tiny little slit, it looks like it's got some furnishings, but it also looks like it is disaster-filled, like the church was. Looks like there might be vases or debris broken all around this foyer, like hall.
Okay. And I don't see any movement, any signs of people.
Give me a perception check and give me it with advantage, please.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. Oh. I got the same thing twice.
An 11?
So, yes, we have an 11.
Okay. You don't get much more than that.
Okay. I guess I convey this information to the other people.
Mhm.
Looks like there was something that destroyed the place, like the church, but I don't see anybody.
This place is worse maintained than the manor of Soggy Bottom back home.
I'm going to try knocking again, but this time I'm going to say, Father Donovich sent us, and we also got your letter.
Stefano, What's your armor class?
14.
14.
Oh no.
Oh no.
A crossbow bolt lands right at your feet. It strikes the ground and dirt splashes up. You can see from the second story, one of the planks has been removed and a figure stands there. It's the same that you saw in the bar, Ismark. And he says, "You're not wanted here."
I'll look up at him and say, "Still being rude, I see."
He says, "Didn't I tell you not to trust that one?"
Well, we'll leave him at the door.
"You will," he says. "He's not welcome in our home."
Is your father here? Ismark?
"Who asks?"
Rufus Gwaindire.
Actually, Father Donovich asks.
"Donovich really sent you?" Again, he's from the top story here, talking to you.
We just spoke with him. He said he would like to hear the voice of his old friend.
He looks a little taken aback by that. He doesn't know what to say. He shakes his head and goes, "It doesn't matter." He says, "My father's busy."
Perhaps we'll come back in the morning.
You hear some sort of conversation happening in there, a second voice. It's hard to tell exactly, discern what the voice sounds like, but you hear whispers from up in that window. And he's like, all right. He says, "What are your names again?" You'll give me your
I'm
names.
Canas.
Yeah.
These are my companions, Dione, Laurent, and Rufus. Gwaindire, of Resplendent Castle.
Castle Resplendent.
Yes, of course.
He says,
Yes, you are fancy. We know.
he says, "Fine. I'll be right down." The board will go back up. You'll hear like hammering of the board being put back up. And then he'll come down. You hear a series of locking mechanisms unlocking. It's like that, the chain, the next lock, padlock, door handle knock, bolt lock. And eventually, after all those, the door will open a crack. And you can see Ismark there. I did show you the artwork last time. I can bring it up again if you would like to see it, but for right now, I think we'll just move on. I don't have the Roll20 screen up anyway.
I'll hand him the bolt back and say, "You have phenomenal aim. Really scared me there."
He says, "If I wanted to hit you, I would have."
Oh, I know that was intentional. Right at my feet.
He says, "Come on in." And he says, You stay here. To Laurent.
We'll start kicking the ground where his bolt was to smooth it out, and I will wait outside.
He'll close the door and lock it at least 2 times. And then
Before I go in, I'll
Yeah.
just be like, Laurent, the letter, perhaps.
Oh, do you want the shredded one or both?
Perhaps both.
I will give him a copy of both letters.
Yune
Or
chimes in.
a copy like that, both letters. Yeah.
Yune
Yune's
chimes
invisible.
in. Yune chimes
Yune's
in
invisible.
telepathically to you, Canas.
Would you like me to stay with Laurent? Protect him.
Yes, that might be best. Make a new friend,
Woo!
Yune. I know you like making new friends.
I love friends. I will make one.
These are... You can make 3. Well, maybe not Rufus. I don't know about him.
Yune will go on Laurent's shoulder. Laurent, you'll feel an invisible force land on you.
Have we ever been introduced to Yune?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the woods. Yeah. And you hear her say,
Don't worry. It's just me.
I am so much less worried now. Thank you, Yune.
it's right in your ear. She whispers that too. It's like,
Don't worry.
Oh, God.
I'm right here.
I hate it. Oh, God.
and
But then Yune's like, "What's your favorite snack?"
Just like very jarring.
I love animal crackers.
Yeah. Oh, God, she loves animal crackers.
Oh God.
Laurent, if there is any danger, can you make a noise? We will come help you.
I will make such a noise, and if you hear me screaming, it's no longer because Yune has scared me. It's because there's something else.
I'll just
Okay.
be like, also, you can tell me.
Oh yeah, that too.
So
Well, yeah.
so the door will lock.
We say this all in front of Ismark.
Yeah. Maybe you'll say this before.
Yeah.
He'll open the door, step into
Thank
the
you.
hallway, and wait for you to come in, and you all
Mhm.
have a quick powwow and then head in.
Mm.
So the door closes. He locks it behind you. You can see inside the interior that it's well furnished, but the fixtures show signs of great wear. There are some noticeable oddities, right? Obviously, the boarded up windows, that stuff. You also notice the presence of holy symbols, same as that sun god symbol that you saw in the church. They are everywhere, in every single room. There is either a holy wooden symbol hanging somewhere. It's painted onto the windows, the boards that are boarded up. It's on the walls. You can see it's carved into some pieces of furniture, like wardrobes, things like that. You can see that it's everywhere, present all over. You can also see a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers, and I would say faint, but it's probably a little more present, an odor of decay.
Can we see inside the coffin?
No, it is closed.
Is the odor of decay coming from the coffin? Are we able to tell?
You sniff the air, and yeah, it's coming from the coffin.
And is it just Ismark, or is his father there?
It's just Ismark.
Ismark, what is in there? In that?
He says, "Listen, come with me. I don't want to talk here. There's like a little sitting room to the right where the coffin is. He brings you into like what seems to be more of like a dining area on the other side of the house, and he says, sit. He says, we have much to discuss.
Okay.
Everything though is in shambles. Like nothing looks like it's well maintained. It's
As he's trying to be careful, I look around to see if my shadow's there.
No, your shadow is gone.
Because if it is, then I feel like we're in trouble.
No, your shadow is gone. It's
All
gone.
right, good.
He says to you, You're from outside of Barovia, right?
Yes. We've been here only about a day.
Yes, and you're new. There's a lot you don't know. He says, and your friend out there? He's not one of us.
What is he one of?
He says, I can spot it a mile away. He's a Vistani.
I wonder if that means he could leave.
You do know what happened when he went into the mist.
He was paralyzed?
He was like hurt, clearly, right? I mean,
Right, yeah.
He says, I wouldn't consort with him. He's not the type to trust.
What is untrustworthy about the Vistani?
He says, they have a deal with the Devil Strahd. It's what allows them to leave. You must have heard about this.
We did.
What is the deal?
I don't know what the deal exactly is, but they're allowed to leave. And in exchange, they help him. Perhaps luring in people just like you.
Is there more than these sisters then, the Vistrami?
Oh. Alenka? The ones
Yes.
at the Blood on the Vine?
Yes.
Many more.
Do
Many
they
more.
Do they travel in bands by perchance?
All the time.
I was lured here by people like them. I wonder if they were Vistrami.
And you said you met this man? Speaking about
man?
Laurent?
This man was lured in to the mist just like we were.
By a
Does it-
letter. Show him the letter.
Yes, a forgery seemingly of your father's.
That's right. I ripped it up in his face.
Of course.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he saw both letters.
Yeah.
No. Did you? You didn't show him both letters. Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Yeah, side
cleaned
by
up that
side.
one
Yes.
was a forgery last
I
time.
apologize. Yes, you're right. 100% right. Yeah.
Yep.
He says one of them was a forgery. The other was my father's handwriting.
Where is your
Yes.
father?
And this one was found off the decaying body being eaten by zombies.
He says, before I let you speak with my father, I need to know that I can trust you all. Consorting with that man outside, I don't know that I can.
Yune and I have a riveting conversation about strawberry rhubarb dream pies.
And I like chicken nuggets.
Oh, Yune's so mad that I didn't buy a pie.
I like chicken nuggets and shaped like
Dinosaurs?
dinosaurs.
My mom used to cut the bread off my sandwich, and I thought those were pretty cool.
That's incredible. Tell me more. Tell me. You are my friend for all eternity now.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Ismark, we just got here, and as far as we know, this man Laurent was lured here through a forgery of your father's. Perhaps he is unaware that he is a Vistani?
It's possible, I guess, but how? Here, of all things?
I don't know. I mean, perhaps it would be good to have one of his kind on our side.
Give me a persuasion check. Dione,
Yes.
you can sense someone coming from the other room. Someone from the, where it would be the kitchen area instead of the dining hall where you're at. Somebody is there on the other side of the door. You can sense them.
I don't say anything aloud, but I catch the other's eyes and I perk up and I kind of point with my body. Like I look in that direction
Yeah.
with a lot of focus.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I got a 22.
He says, perhaps you're right. And I am in desperate need. He says, fine. I'm out of options anyway. He says, Irina, you can come out. And from that door, a woman enters the room. I have pictures of, I think, like I said, I told you, Ismark, right? I sent you one. You have that in your...
I don't know if you did. I think you just described him.
Oh, okay. Maybe then I didn't. So here you go. Here's Ismark.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did describe you had like the blonde hair and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks kind of like Andrew with long hair.
Ow.
So there's Ismark. That's now you're saying it. I am seeing it.
Andrew the
Dione
Great.
looks between Ismark and Rufus like,
And then you see this woman come out. Now she's not dressed like this in the picture, but she does look like this.
Does she have that sword?
oh.
So she does not have this sword, although perhaps you will see what this sword is. She comes out though. She's a petite woman. She has, I think it's described as auburn hair, but that looks more brown. Let me just see if it's here. Yeah, so this woman comes out referenced as Irina. She seems a bit meek when she first enters the room, like she's not supposed to be there, but Ismark had told her to come. She's not wearing the armor. She's wearing what would be typical clothes of wealthy Barovian, kind of like what you might have seen some of the patrons, Bildrath maybe perhaps wearing. It's not as shabby clothes, but still mostly browns. She'll come out and greet all of you. She'll kind of like nod rather than saying anything. And she says, this is my sister, Irina.
Hello. I am Canas.
You'll all introduce her.
I put my hand out for a handshake.
She'll tentatively reach out for it, but then eventually just like go for it. So she was hesitant at first, but then she really grabs it. Gives you a nice strong grip. And she says,
Is her hand ice cold?
her hand is probably cold, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's cold, and she says, "It's a pleasure to meet you all."
Pleasure to meet you too. Strong grip you have there.
Thank you. And she'll pull her hand away, kind of like rub it and hold on to it. And she says, I know that Ismark hasn't told you everything yet, but I would like to thank you for coming to our assistance.
Yes, that's what we're here for.
Ismark says to his sister, he says, Irina, and kind of motions to her and says, she's been afflicted.
That's the impression we got from the letter.
That devil Strahd, he says. He was here today, wasn't he? I heard a commotion in the center of town.
Yes, he took something of mine.
Oh?
I gesture to the ground.
I cast my hand under Canas again. Oopsie. Oh, wow.
They'll get it eventually, the shadow, and he'll say, yes. Be grateful that's all he's taken. He says, we have more to discuss. Unfortunately, for my sister, about 2 weeks ago, she saw Strahd. She came face to face with him in town, just like you probably did today. And ever since, he's been relentless. And Irina kind of shudders every time he says his name.
Irina, what has he done to you so far? What has happened? You seem so scared.
I don't really remember it all. But he's come here, and she looks to her brother for kind of like assistance to finish her sentences. And he's like, he's come here. He's come here nearly every night for 2 weeks.
What does he do while he is here? Does he politely knock on the door?
Well, it started with requests to see my sister. Obviously, I said no. I would never want that creature anywhere near her. My father also was very adamant. He was not allowed in our home. He's crafty. He finds ways in. He was able to visit with Irina twice. She looks like down at the ground, and you can see like shame washing over her. She holds her neck, rubs onto it.
Yes, this must be the unholy wound that was referred to in the letter.
Yeah, she'll like kind of pull her shirt aside, and you can see 2 bite marks on her side of her like jugular.
Has anything changed, Irina?
Not that I can tell. She looks very confused. She says, but we've been very careful ever since. My father ordered us to board up the doors and windows, excuse me. We've painted the holy symbols of the Morning Lord everywhere. Night after night, we've faced a relentless assault. And Ismark comes in as his sister seems near tears at this point, and he says, we've done our best to fight off wolven creatures and these horrific, shambling bodies. Night after night. It's
Are
relentless.
those the footsteps? More zombies.
Every night. Except for the past few. He says he's given us a bit of a reprieve. I don't know why. But I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Interesting. Did he stop by today?
He did not. Irina's been here all day and has not reported anything. She says, I haven't. He hasn't. He hasn't been here.
What about your father? Where is he?
They both give a knowing glance to each other, and they nod. Follow me. You go with them?
Yeah.
He takes you into that first room, that like side room, the sitting room when you entered. He'll go to the coffin. He'll unlatch it and open it. Inside, you can see the rotting, decaying corpse of an older man. He's dressed in noble garments. His body does look fine, like uninjured. There's no like horrible scarring or anything like that. He looks normal. And he says, "This is our father, Kolyan Indirovich." And he puts his hand like on his father's head, and Irina just kind of bows there. He's been dead for the last 4 days. And you could smell the body is just foul.
Why'd you not bury him?
I want to. And Irina says, "We do. We really do. But we can't get to the cemetery. Father ordered me not to leave, and Ismark believes that it's best that we stay here. It's safe."
Where is the cemetery?
"Behind the church," she says.
Oh, we could organize his transportation there.
She's like, her eyes go bright when you say that. "You would do that for us?"
Tomorrow,
He says,
on the morn.
"You look like you can all handle yourself pretty well. I feel like I got that sense of you in this morning. Are you adventurers, travelers?"
We are? Well, I am.
I am. We are all
Oh.
together.
Yes.
He says, "I think it might be best if we hurry this along then. I do request something of you. I want you to save Irina. That monster in Castle Ravenloft will not let her go. When he wants something, he always gets it. Take her away from here, far. There's a place nearby. It's called Valaki. I don't know if you've heard of this. He'll take out a map.
To the northwest.
Yes, you've heard of it then.
We have.
He takes out
Yes.
a map and he'll lay it out on like the coffee table. And you can see a map of this region. I'll show you in a minute. I'm not going to put it up on the Roll20 right now. But he'll point to a place that's kind of like in the center of the map. And he says, "This is Valaki. It is northwest of here. You'll take the Svalich Road. It might take 3 days tops to get there. The travel is dangerous. But it's the only way that she'll make it out of this alive. We need to get her as far away from him as possible."
We have heard that we cannot go on Svalich Road.
"Why not?"
That is what we have been told by our Vistani.
They'll tell you anything. They'll lie about anything.
Okay.
He looks out he looks out towards the door though, and he says, "Are you sure that your friend, you can trust him?"
Une and I are outside playing Go Fish and weaving grass crowns for each other.
Well, at least it is good to keep a potential enemy close. But I believe that we can trust him.
He'll go to the
Oh,
door
no.
and unlock it and open it up and see Laurent there chatting by himself. Nobody else is there, but you're talking out loud. And he says, "You can come in."
Thank you. That is so thoughtful of you.
You walk in and you see the body of Kolyan Indirovich, the Burgomaster, in a coffin in the sitting room, and all your friends are surrounding it.
You know, I was actually happier outside without the body. So
Irina now starts to speak. She's like, if you could arrange, help us transport my father's body, we could bury him. We could bury him now and leave."
Would it be wise to leave in the middle of the night?
Doesn't matter, she says. In Barovia, there is no night. There is no day. There's no sun. We never see it. We're just as dangerous in the middle of the day as you are in the night.
So what you're saying is Strahd could send those things at any time.
He owns this domain. He is the domain. There's no safe place.
Well, then I suppose we transport the body now.
No time like the present.
Yes. Would you do us a favor? She says.
Certainly.
We'll prepare my father. He needs to be buried with a few of our personal belongings. We'll ready him, change his clothes, try to do our best to preserve him. Go to Father Donovich at the church. Tell him to prepare a burial plot. That way, when we get there, it will be quick.
And may I ask you a favor in return?
Anything, she says.
I lost my arms and equipment. Do you have any armor or weapons, suitable shields, suitable for a knight of my status?
She'll look to the mantle in the sitting room, and standing above it, she'll look. It's almost like the scene in Pulp Fiction when Bruce Willis looks up and sees the katana standing up there at the top of the shelf.
Mhm.
And she'll look, and you'll see there's a longsword over the fireplace. This was my father's sword. And she'll take it down and hold that sword like you saw in the picture here.
Yeah.
And she says, perhaps it will be of use in your hands.
Does she pass it to me?
She doesn't. She doesn't take it off the mantle.
Oh. I'll take it off the mantle.
You'll take it
Do
off
it.
the mantle.
Yeah.
And he says,
weigh it. A good sword.
Coley, Ismark says, giving away father's sword? And she says,
With your sword, I will protect you. Your father's sword.
she says, he's gone, Ismark. And she'll go right to her brother, hold him, embrace him, and say, he's gone. He won't be using it anymore.
We may need it for our task.
It
Come
may
on.
help to protect his body from werewolves, undead, any manner of horrible things.
Let's do this, she says. She says, we'll prepare the body. Come back here in about an hour, and we can transport together. I'll gather my things, and we can finally leave this place. I don't remember everything, but she looks down at the ground, and she goes, I know he's done terrible things to me.
And you really think that the Laki will be beyond his reach?
From what we've heard, Ismark says, is that there's a building resistance there. It's a safe haven.
Well, that's the news I've been looking for.
Go, quickly. It's dark already. We should move swiftly. And
All right.
they'll usher you out the door.
Great.
Let's move quickly. Try to get this done before whatever comes at night approaches.
Sure. You head
And
back to the
as-
church. Oh, sorry, Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, as we're like heading out and as we're walking to the church, I just want to keep like my ears open, and I want to keep sniffing around to see if I can kind of catch a whiff of that familiar wet dog smell. And
You do not. You do not.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see Dione like inspecting the area, but you come to the conclusion that there's no evil around here. So you head out the door. You get past that rusty iron gate that's swinging in the wind. Rain is now coming down a little heavier now, but it's kind of been intermittent. Comes down heavy, stops, lets up a bit. Comes down heavy, lets up a bit. You head back through the town. The only light is the Blood of the Vine Tavern and just individual homes, which again, shutters are closed, but you see some light, some fire coming from some of them. You head up to the North Road and you get to the church. The door, again, still left in the same state that you left it. You open the door, and Father Donovich is not at the altar, but when you come in and hears the door open, you can see him come out of one of the bedrooms on the left-hand side, and he says to you all,
Back so soon. What? Did you bring the Burgomaster?
Well, it's
Well-
rather sad news.
He's on his way,
He's
but not in the way that I think you want.
What do you mean? This is great news. I get to see my old friend, Kolyan Endirovich.
I'll walk up to him, take his hands in my hands, and say, Kolian died 4 days ago.
What? This can't be.
We need to prepare him for burial. We have
No
to
way.
leave quickly.
It can't be possible. I've seen Ismark in the streets. He hasn't said anything.
We saw his body just minutes ago.
How? How did he die?
That's a good question.
yeah, you did not ask that, but still.
We are not sure how he died, but
It was
we are
something
certain
related to Strahd. That's what we got the gist of.
Sure.
Yeah.
he is gone, and we know that Strahd has been in his house. So his children are asking for your help.
Irina, you spoke to her in Ismark.
Yes.
Good. I'll do whatever I can for an old friend. He says, but now is not a good time. Perhaps you'll come back later in the morning.
We'll be gone in the morning.
No. Where? Where will you go?
We have to take Irina somewhere safe.
You know, she was always so good friends with my boy. They're about the same age.
Gertruda, too.
Yeah, they're all about. Yeah, they're all about the same age, about 18 years old. He says, "No, but I'm sorry. You have to come back tomorrow. It can't be. It can't be right now."
Why?
Ismark and Irina are transporting the body right now. We have to prepare the plot.
This is not a good time. Not a good time. He says, "They're coming right now."
Right now.
He looks to all of you, and you see like panic in his face, and he's like, "I'm sorry. It has to wait." And he starts to usher you out the door.
What is happening? What is happening? Father, talk to us. Why? Why is now not a good time?
He says, "It's just not," and he's cut off. From beneath the chapel floor, you hear the sound of a young man's voice cry out, "Father! I'm starving! Father!" And we'll see you next week, everybody, on Tabletop Bob. Welcome in a new character. We'll see. Someone's in the Undercroft.
Oh boy.
I wonder who.
What do you think, everybody? Good episode? I think so.
Great episode. Great
This
episode.
is a good one.
Fortunately, we have
Um,
something to feed the starving person.
Yeah, fortunately, you might. Well, everybody, it's about 11 here on the East Coast, so we're going to get out of here, but thank you for watching. Please do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, check down the links in the description. There's plenty of things in there, like I said, our house rules, stuff like that. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, there's Patreon, Ko-fi, things like that. We had a new Patreon member this week. I just want to make sure, Victor Valenti, that's, I believe, yep, there you go. Thank you for joining. If you have any other ideas, things like that, leave them down below in the comments, and make sure you like the video. We'll see you back in 1 week for episode 4. Who knows what's going to happen? It's actually kind of crazy right now. You're all going over the place. Lots of information. We'll see. But
It's possible that Tim is our biggest enemy.
Tim is the real villain. Yeah.
The one who
It's
likes
me.
dino
Oh,
nuggets.
The devil Laurent.
The devil around.
Also, I just want to do just make a quick shout out to our first fan art artist.
Oh, yeah.
That was so
Great.
cool. So cool. Thank
Super
you.
cool. Yeah.
So, Michelle, how could people also see that fan art?
By joining our Discord server.
Oh my god.
Please do. Yes.
Where
Bob
do you
is a
think the
great
link
DM
is?
and also a great server host.
Where do you think the
Come hang
link
out.
is for the Discord?
I bet
Probably
it's
down below.
yeah, I bet it's right there.
Yes, it is. Check description, everybody. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Discord. What are some other ones we have? No, we don't have any other ones. That's it. Snapchat, Kofi. Oh yeah, we do have a couple other ones. Yeah, yeah. Go do it all,
Instagram.
everybody. I don't know all the other things. I'm not young. I don't know what these things are. But check them all out, and we'll see you all next time. Have a great night. See you on the tabletop.